Hey, what's up, everybody? Mogi Monster here. Welcome to Why the Fascination, or WTF as I like to call it. Hope everybody's doing good. Still getting that shaky camera. Damn. I thought I had it fixed, but shouldn't be as bad. Um, Great to see everybody in chat. Who we got here? What's up, Sandy? That's funny. Mogs, get out of the pool. You have a show to do. I've only been in the pool once. How is everybody tonight? Get these shout outs going. Well, obviously, Sandy, hi. Stevie, what's up? CD Squatcher. Mr. Lead 3PO, what's happening, man? Blue Line Bigfoot, what's up, buddies? I'm assuming that's Adam. Hey, man, I checked out your little Bigfoot Odyssey video. That was funny, guys. That was funny. It must have been a bitch to edit, but good job. Blue Eyed Northern. Paul, what's up, man? Did you see you were leaving? Is that what I read? Sandra Piper, hello. Ida Bustamante. Mike. Who else did I just see in here? Iron Dogger, what's up? How you doing? Tubers and footers. That's awesome. So yeah, it's like I said, it's great. What's up, Rob? Sasquatch, what's happening? Papa Craig. Hey, Craig, did you it's Craig Crandall, right? You won that Duke thing, that outing with Duke. If you want to, you got to get your ass up there to Montana. But yeah, if that's Craig, yeah, you won the Duke's time and effort. Like 3 days of it. If you get up there, he'll take you out, and I'll get you all hooked up with with Duke and make your arrangements whenever. But congrats on that, dude. I wasn't sure if you had sent me, or I don't remember if you sent me. I don't think you sent me. That's why I'm saying this now. Your information. So you can hit me up. Email me, and I'll get, just so I have your email. I might have it, but hit me up here, and I'll hook you up with Duke. So right on. Congrats. Who else is here tonight? You know what, Jenny? I do. It's sad. I ain't really. You can see the difference in color. Shit, just my neck alone. Yeah, it's sad. It's farmer's tan. Yeah, I'm afraid to take my shirt off in at the beach or outside in direct sunlight because there's going to be that flash of light when I spontaneously combust like a vampire. That's how that's how pale I am. Oh, excellent, excellent. CD Squatcher, she won the outing with Tex. She says, Mogs, I talked to Tex. We have a date going October on a dark moon. Exciting. That's fantastic. You know what? And I got to see what the moon phases are come that November outing with Bigfoot Odyssey. 168, 2.0, whatever it is. Because we were there for a full moon. I would like to be there for a dark moon, a new moon. I think that would be very interesting. It would be dark as hell. But yeah, I think that's something I want to try out. Long Island Bigfoot, what's happening, brother? How you doing, Mike? Hey, if anybody's feeling froggy tonight, I have no plans. I had asked somebody to come on. I didn't see him respond to my email today. Let me just double check. So I don't put my foot in my mouth. I've been known to do that. Nope, I'm good. What else? Oh yeah, I was gonna say if anybody wants to pop on, hit me up, or I'll just, you know what? This is like Russian roulette, but there's nobody in here I don't trust. So I will put the link in chat. So if anybody wants to pop on, say hi, hang out, whatever, use it. All right. There it is. And it's funny. There's no one in here I don't trust. Oh wait, Jared's here. I don't trust him. Just kidding, Jared. Good to see you, man. Where you been? Lewis, what's up? Good to see you, man. Oh, what's up? Can Squatch. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on? How's Florida?
It's good. It's good. I'm adjusting.
Well, I see you got your memorabilia up behind you.
Oh yeah, man. I had to, make me feel like I was home.
Looking
Because
good.
for a while there was just like this black void behind me.
I know. It's not a little camp chair, so that's good.
No. So what are you up to?
I just got, well, I was watching Mark and Larry's show, and then was driving back from my area. I put out a recorder.
Oh, right on.
And it's going to rain, so I had to put some plastic over it.
Okay.
But was
I watched some of the show. It was a good show. Carrie, I got to give, say thank you to Carrie for giving me that little shout out. And, he was talking about how I debunk things now. It's funny. I didn't realize that's how it was going to turn out, but
that's good.
Apparently that's how I approach things logically and try to, just figure it out and figure out what it is and what it isn't,
Well, I think it comes from being from your background in hunting. I think it's being out in the woods and seeing things that, naturally you can put into a category that other people might not be able to. You know what I'm saying?
And it's kind of having it in my paradigm,
exactly.
Going out there. And it's weird because what's up, Indian? How's it going, Indian?
Hey, brother, what's up?
Where you coming from?
I'm here in mid-east Oklahoma.
All right on.
Not close to the Kiamichis?
North of there.
Oh.
Yeah. Did y'all just see me getting kissed goodnight?
No.
No, we missed that. we can rewind.
We can rewind.
Yeah, let's rewind that. Anyway, hey man, it's good to be back on here. We kind of took a break from everything after everything else that went down in, I guess, about the last few months ago, but we're around. We pay attention. We listen to the shows and everything. So
Right on.
yeah, good to be back with everybody.
Well, I'm glad that you're here, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I did see something on our property probably 7, 8 months ago that was totally crazy. And I've not figured this one out yet.
Crazy as in physical, or crazy as in something different?
Paranormal?
Well, I can't say. It looked physical because when I first laid eyes on it, I thought that is a person, someone sneaking up the power line on our property.
Ooh.
And I looked towards my fiance and I looked back, and this thing was too skinny and too tall to be a Sasquatch. But, who can say?
You see any facial features at all?
No, this is probably 60 yards away and the sun was behind it.
Gotcha.
I saw the dark figure that was very tall and slender. And since then, I walked down and looked. There are rocks that it could have been standing on. But honestly, it could have been anywhere from 5 to 7 feet tall, depending on exactly where it stood. And I wouldn't put its body at more than, when the shoulders were facing me, more than 2.5 feet apart would be the max.
Not very bulky.
No. This thing, it was very slender. It's kind of the strangest thing I've seen, actually. And when I made eye contact, which I felt like, I couldn't see eyes, obviously, but when it felt like I made eye contact with it, it twisted its upper body, and let me see if I can do this.
Don't break a hip.
It did something like that with its fist towards the ground. And just kind of sank below the grass. It turned sideways, put its fist towards the ground, bent at its lower back, and just melted into the grass. Like it went down on all fours, and then probably even lower than that. It's not like, if you'd seen somebody sneaking on your property and they saw you at the same time, they're going to go straight down. This thing twisted almost sideways, but it looked like the legs stayed in the same position forward to me, bent at the lower back with the front fist going towards the ground, and just went down.
That's weird. Yeah, but you do hear, like you said, it went to all fours or lower than that. You do hear about like the belly crawl or the fingertip walk, the spider walk with some Sasquatch encounters. Who knows?
Yeah.
Do you think it looked thin? Do you think it looked thin because the sun was behind it and the light was kind of diffusing around the outline of it, maybe?
No, I consider all that, and it's like, no, it's not that.
Yeah, you seem pretty perplexed.
Like I said,
Larry asks, what color was it?
Well, the sun was behind it.
So it was okay. So it was dark.
Yeah, it was dark. I've racked my brain trying to figure out, was this any certain shade or anything like that? Because the Sasquatch I've seen before kind of looked black, but with the sun, they had like a reddish tint to them.
Mm-hmm.
But this thing wasn't all black. There was something in it that was a little bit lighter, and I don't know, maybe a brown, but it didn't look hairy. It just looked dark. And like I said, at first I thought it was a person because we had a couple of people come up this power line before. And, I ran them off or met them. A couple of people were like, oh, we didn't know this is private property, et cetera, et cetera. This at first is what I thought that was. And like I said, I glanced at my fiance and I looked back real quick before I even finished looking at her to see if she'd seen it. And I'm like, wait, that's not right. There's something wrong about the way it looks.
Blue Line Bigfoot wants to know: did you see any ears?
No, this was, I almost at the beginning thought I saw like a cowboy hat. But when I glanced back, there was nothing like that.
How
So I
about
don't know.
odors? Any odors, smells?
No, like
Too
I
far
said,
away?
this was 60 yards away.
Okay. Yeah. It's a good question, though, Jenny.
Yeah, I wish I could really tell you more details because I wish I'd seen him, but it was like within a second.
Oh.
And I'm trying to register these things in my mind, and I've seen Sasquatch, but this was not that. And, we're here in Cherokee country, and I've met some people, and they tell me different things, different stories of things they've seen. And a friend of mine that I just met up here not too long ago, he's like, well, I saw something that was dark that ran across the road. I'm like, okay, tell me details. He's like, well, it looked like something really big, but on all fours. I'm like, okay, a Sasquatch. He's like, well, no, it looked like it, but it wasn't. And I'm like, okay, well, describe, the land where you were going through. And he was driving. And he's like, well, there was a fence, a barbed wire fence on the side of the road on the right. And it went from right to left. And he told me that when it hit that fence on the right, coming from the field, it hit that fence and it's like it slowed it down. It's like it kind of wasn't physical when it hit the fence. But then when it got through the fence, it hauled ass towards the left, like it was physical. So what the hell?
So it didn't step over the fence; it passed through the fence.
It passed through the fence, but the fence slowed it down for like a half second or so, is the way he described it. Yeah.
For the brief instance that you saw this figure, do you think that maybe the hair might have been diffusing maybe some of that light and made it seem like it was thinner than it actually was? I know Zasky has those hair follicles that show that they're kind of hollow and they absorb light, and when it blends into the colors around it, it may look like it maybe disappears.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't rule that out, but at the same time, had it been a physical, full-blown Sasquatch, it would have been a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Unless, like you say, and like my beliefs, with a Chalagi, that it is more of a spiritual thing. But I've never seen any Sasquatch that looked that thin and tall. And like I said, I can't say that it was tall because it could have been 5 foot tall. It could have been 7 foot tall. Because I walked down there and it's just like, you know, there's rocks down there, semi boulders. We live on not a mountain, but a hill.
Sure.
And where I look down there, I wish you could see it right now at night, but it's down a power line. I've left beads down there and things like that. As far as I know, they've never been touched.
When you said it, Larry wants to know. You said it faded into the grass. How tall was the grass when it went down? And
The grass. It's kind of funny because I'm looking down there right now. I'm sitting on my front porch looking down there, and I can't see too much of it, but the grass down there right now is probably easily 3 foot tall.
Yeah.
When this happened last year, it was probably 4 foot tall.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of grass.
How far down that power line can you see?
Probably 75 yards. After that point where I believe it came out is probably another 15 yards, maybe 20 before it just drops off.
Gotcha.
When you say drops off, what does it go to the other side of the hill?
Well, it's the
Power line go over the hill, or
well, yeah, it drops off down the hill that I face.
okay.
Yeah, I'm on my front porch facing west, and the power line drops off down towards that. And then
I'm trying to picture this in my head. Sorry.
no, man, I wish you could see, you know, I guess I'm not trying to plug my channel, but if you look at my channel, I've got a lot of videos where I'm showing my view from my front porch, and it'll show you the power line, the clearing, and all that. But obviously, I don't have any video of Squatch or anything on there.
What's your channel? So one of my moderators can put it up in chat. I have no problem with that.
Oh, it's my name here, Jared Crazy Indian.
Oh, okay. It just says Indian here. I didn't realize it was you, Jared. That's an Indian.
Hey, you don't see the mohawk here?
Oh yeah.
I noticed that right off, Moggs. Come on, man.
I feel like a
come on, Mogollon. No, maybe the glasses.
All right. I didn't even pay attention to that.
No,
That's
brother,
funny.
that's cool.
That's awesome. Well, you've changed your name a few times.
Well, no, just twice.
Indio Loco wasn't.
That's how I knew you.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Cans. You see, my real friend here is Cans. You remember Mogollon?
Cashy, thank you for posting
name
that. Cashy posted the link to your channel, so thank you for doing that, Cashy.
Hey man, I appreciate it.
it.
You know, mostly my channel, you know, I'll film. We got wildlife out here, and I'll film the foxes on my porch or my driveway, and I'll make a fart noise, and hey, this fox farted. You know, there's some silly things, but I've got some I've got some other videos from East Texas and things like that. You know, there's different things that pertain to Sasquatch, but you know, it's a fun channel.
Right on.
Have you put game cams on that power line cutout?
I've had them on there before, for deer season, but I get so many deer coming through that, I take them down until hunting season.
You can only take so many deer pictures.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, do you hear any vocalizations or anything at night down that way?
Well, that's kind of a tricky thing. We have the trains around, and yes, I do hear weird vocalizations, but I can't attribute that to Squatch or anything else. Also, we have, we're here in the Cherokee Nation, and especially on Friday nights, man, we start doing war whoops to each other. And, we're like, a quarter mile, half a mile away, and everybody starts doing that war whoops. It's cool.
Like to hear that.
Right?
Oh, man, it's beautiful. If I could catch it on my phone, which is my only video right now, I would love to do it. It's just, it goes back in time, and me as a Cherokee, it just really hits me.
Sure.
That's awesome.
But now I guess you're hearing the train.
Yeah.
Sure do.
Hey, beauty all around me. Good to see you. Hey, what's up, Carrie?
Beauty all around me. I think I know her.
Yeah, I think you do.
Hey, did y'all know we're engaged?
Lockbeard, what's happening? Who else is here? Drake C, what's up? Rex. Katie G. I don't know if I missed anybody. Oh, we just lost Cans. He'll be back. So right on, man. How long you been into Bigfoot?
Me?
Yeah, you're the only one there.
Well, you were talking to the chat, okay? Don't be an ass.
Yeah, sorry.
Man, I saw Legend of Bayou Creek when I was a kid.
I still haven't seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm unsubscribing to your channel after I'm off of here. You suck, Mogollon. But I guess from probably around 7, 8 years old, I really kind of got aware of it, because back in the day, they were still showing the old, well, they weren't that old, but the shows from the 70s and things like that, so-called documentaries. And I just really ate it up. And we happened to live in a town east of Dallas that was, it felt country at the time, but now it's just swallowed up by Dallas. But there were woods close by, and I was always like, ooh, what if that's close to our house? And it intrigued me, and I wanted it to be true. Well, whether it was or not, the more I got into the Cherokee side, my father's side of everything, the more I got into learning from other people in our family who are Cherokee that there is something to it. And that's how I really started getting into, I guess, the spiritual aspect of it, and knowing that there was more than just what the TV shows were showing.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And it wasn't like a full, ooh, I'm an Indian, this is a fact. It wasn't like that, because I was raised around mostly white people and things like that, which is cool, But as I got a little older and more experienced, was in the woods all the time. My uncles took me hunting all the time. And there were just certain things that back then we took for granted that we didn't even know were associated with Sasquatch. And we didn't know that as much that people do now, that they were all over the U.S. Although, looking back, now I realize that they were telling me, yeah, they're here too. But I guess maybe in some way they were trying to protect me as far as letting me know that, oh no, that they're not around here. But they knew.
Yeah. All right.
So
And,
same question back to you. How old were you?
I haven't had an experience as far as Sasquatch goes. My my experiences have been paranormal. Um, so I figured, a couple of years ago, I stumbled upon Sasquatch Chronicles, started hearing all these stories, and just got hooked. And I figured if I believe in the paranormal and I know that it exists, like ghosts, why wouldn't I believe in flesh and blood creature that's maybe living in the woods? And hearing all these stories, I mean, shit, I heard Ron Moorhead say it today, and I've been saying it forever. Everybody can't be lying. So I always say that. And if one person's telling the truth, they exist, but I want to see it for myself. So now I'm now I'm a searcher, not a researcher, a searcher.
Well, you're right. And, I trust Ron Moorhead as far as, I can trust anyone who's out there, YouTube land, and, Ron's been on TV and all kinds of things. I don't
Well,
see
it was just
him.
funny that he was on today and I heard him say those exact words, and I was like, see?
Yeah, and I don't see people who have so much to lose going to such great lengths to risk everything. And, he's, I don't know how old he is now, pure respect to the man. But, I don't doubt anything he said. I don't doubt his recordings. I've heard noises, strange noises, but like I said, I can't really for sure say that that was Sasquatch. But, I don't doubt Ron Moorhead. I think he's legit.
Well, what about the history though of the First Nations peoples who've talked about and always had acknowledgement of Sasquatch as part of their culture?
Sasquatch are spirits, plain and simple. They can manifest into physical beings at their choosing. They can appear, disappear when they want to. They can leave tracks and then not leave tracks. This is the way of it. This is the way it's always been.
Right, and that's been consistent.
Yes, and I hate that everyone who doubts Bigfoot and makes fun of us who believe will simply say, well, where's the tracks? Where's the bones, the bodies, the proof? Where's all this? Well, guess what? A spirit leaves what it wants to. It can manifest into physical, and then it's gone. It can leave footprints. If there's DNA that's legitimate out there, that's a whole nother thing that I'm still trying to understand too. But a spiritual being can be a spiritual being no matter what, and it can do what it does. So, why aren't there any bodies? Why aren't there any skeletons? This, that, and the other? Well, guess why? We've been trying to tell you for hundreds of years. They're spirits.
So
My
nothing.
opinion, My opinion's not popular all the time, but there it is.
How's it going, Mike?
Hey, what's up, guys? You know,
Hey, Mike.
crazy Indian. Hey, Cans. Crazy Indian. You know, like as far as like America goes, like like the U.S. We were like this place hadn't been around, so like it's basically everyone here has just been sitting on a fucking on a bunch of lies. You know what I mean? So like it's kind of frustrating. I know, I get it, but yeah. You really can't. It's hard to undo so much. So much. I don't want to say brainwashing, but like it's almost like when I went in the military. Like you're not made for the military, but they give you muscle memory through your brain, through your muscles, everything. Like it's hammered into you to the point where like you just start to be that. But
yeah, Mike. Hello, Mike.
What's up, Mike?
Yeah, I understand, because when I joined and I went through basic training, it was like, ooh, I kill, wanna go crazy, ooh, I kill, eat a burnt baby. I didn't want to sing that when I first joined. And at the end of our indoctrination / basic training, I was singing, ooh, I kill, want to go crazy, ooh, I kill, eat a burnt baby, as loud as the rest of them. So you do kind of get indoctrinated into things.
Yeah, it's it's just like I don't know how I'm trying to say it really, but like it's so embedded in people's brains and shit. And then like when it comes to things like the mind speak or whatever, like it's been embedded in everyone's brains that if you hear voices, that you're crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like when you go and you tell someone like, oh, I heard a voice, it was a Sasquatch. Like that's an easy fucking target. You know what I mean? Like it's an easy target for trolls, for anybody to pick on you. You know what I mean?
And, of course it is.
I mean, I'm with you, bro. I hear you. I get it. Like, cause I've seen what you're talking about. The words you're saying, I've seen it. So I'm with you. But I mean, it's a difficult task to put on people. I can't imagine how how like the Native Americans feel trying to. I get why they just like half of them just shut down.
Yeah, it's nobody ever gets it. I repeat it. There's a huge gun forum that I'm a member of, and every time the subject comes up, I will tell them it's plain and simply there are spirits who can move and change into whatever they need or want, and everyone just ignores me because they can't argue with it. If they hate the entire Sasquatch and Sasquatch believers, then they don't have an answer for it. And then some of the believers are like, well, yeah, I kind of get what you're saying, but so it's like, our people have known them for thousands of years, but everyone else has their own theory or whatever, and so far, all those theories are working for them. And, people here on this channel right now are probably disagreeing with me and thinking, well, that's stupid. But, to each his own. I'm just telling you my beliefs and what my people have taught me.
Yeah, there's not much of that. There's not much of that on mainstream media. Like when you watch the TV shows, which is where people go to for most of the stuff, they're not. The majority of people aren't like coming into our podcast or whatever to learn about Bigfoot. You know what I mean? Like the masses are just turning on their TV and they're seeing like that tree knocking shit and like, you know what I mean? That's what like, and like. In the beginning, like before, I didn't know any better either. Before I started having my own stuff, like I didn't know any better. But it's
right. 90% of the people aren't going out into the woods and experiencing, and they'll take what's on the television as truth, when in reality, that's just disinformation.
Yeah, and going back to what Mike said, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how you start. That's how most people start.
Yeah.
I wasn't too far away from that myself. I was just lucky that I had, some of my people, Cherokee people, that kind of steered me in the right direction.
Yeah.
And, that's me saying my right direction.
Yeah.
You might have someone else saying, well, no, this is the right direction. And, that's fine.
Native Americans don't let their children or their next generation, they don't let them flop. They don't let them lose their values. They don't let them lose their history. They don't let them, yeah.
Well, it's important that they continue that, that tradition, because eventually it's just going to die if they don't.
Yeah.
Well, things have been lost.
Sure.
We are not.
Languages alone are being lost.
We all lose something through generations. That's a fact with any generation, any race, any people.
Yeah.
And this is not, Sasquatch is not a thing that, say, the whites are used to.
Mm-hmm.
It's, more of a discovery that they're still going through compared to us that we've known it.
Yeah.
And honestly, we're still learning it. I'm still learning about it because I'm still seeing mysteries. And yes, the spiritual thing explains so much, but there's so many different things now that I'm seeing that are still like, well, hell, is this an alien thing? As much as I hate to say it, but some things seem so much out of this earth that, even I question it.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Disgusting. What's up, bro? The fact of the matter is, like, as I don't care how I sound. Like, everybody knows me by now. I don't give a fuck. Like, take it or leave it. But like, the fact is, they talk to me, so that's what I get. That's where I take from. You know what I mean? Like, I take from what they want to tell me, what they want to show me, and other than that, like, I don't know much. You know what I mean? Because, like, for a while I was doing, like, I would, like, watch other stuff, and then, like, I found out, like, through time, like, the people I was watching were just, for lack of a better word, bullshitting. Like, just selling a dream for a little bit of cash.
Sure.
And I'm not knocking anybody. But it's not for me. Like, so I just challenge anybody, like, just get out there and give it a try, like, just give it a try and see what happens, because you might be the next one that they talk to, like, for real.
And you know what? You're entirely correct, Mike. Get out there for yourself.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be sitting there talking about this. Never thought. I always say it. I know I'm, like, on repeat for you guys probably, but, like, I always thought I had to go to, like, the Pac West. I never thought I could do this in my back. Literally, I'm not even lying. I can do it in my backyard. Like, I was down and out for this past week, and they came here. You know what I mean? Like, they came here. When I don't go out, they come here. And I know there's, like, this, like, taboo thing. Do they follow you home? Oh, don't let them follow you home. Da da da. I don't give a shit. You're welcome here. I go up in your house. Come on by. Like, you know what I mean? Just the same shit.
Hey, brother, you're connecting on something there. Have a good spirit.
Yeah.
Have a good spirit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's different. I don't know.
If you seek them, do not have any antagonism or anything negative in your heart.
Yeah, you'll know when there's ones that don't want to be bothered. Don't get me wrong. You'll know it. You'll know when there's, like, there's some. I feel like there's some that have been tainted by humans and they just don't want nothing to do with us. I walk back. I back up. I do it. Whatever. I get it. But, some of them are friendly, very, very, very friendly. And, like, I don't know. I enjoy it. Like, I enjoy that connection and stuff.
Yeah.
And, it's cool.
And Can't Squatch, I think you know more than you're saying right now.
Well, it's because every time I go out, the first thing I do is talk to the spirit of the woods. and say, "Hey, I'm here. This is what I'm doing. Not here to
Amen.
harm anybody.
Amen.
I'm here to enjoy the what you put here on this earth, and I'm not going to be here very long. You know, I'm not here to
Yeah.
hurt anybody. You know,
Yeah,
if I
we're here just a tiny bit of time in here on this earth. And Polly agrees. I can see him shaking his head.
Uh, I'm just trying not to talk over you guys and be nice because I got a lot to say, but I'm just going to be quiet like I'm a mime.
Go ahead, bro. Go do your thing.
I just gave you an intro, brother. Go ahead.
the ball is yours, Paulie.
I think he froze up.
Oh yeah, it's froze hard.
It's a crazy.
All right, Paul, you're froze up.
Yeah.
Polly, you're fired.
There
There
it
it
is.
The first
There
time. But yeah, you got to take your own path, regardless of where it leads. You just have to experience that shit yourself, man, for real.
Yep. I mean,
Right
we
on.
You have
told,
to figure it out for yourself. If you want this, and if they want you to see it, they'll let you know. If they don't, you ain't gonna see shit. You be like
Yeah.
a blind man in the dock. Oh, it looks the same all the time.
what do you? I'm fucking.
Away.
No,
love
really,
this
man.
guy. Love this guy.
No, but really, if you're genuine and you're true and you don't want to hurt them and they pick up on that vibe, they're going to show themselves. They'll be like, hey, look at me. And I hairy and big and I'll kick your ass. That's what they're going to show you. I mean, there's no denying that. It's a crazy thing. I don't know if I ever want to see that. If I do, I will totally respect it. But
yeah, there's so many there's so many reports of people shooting a Sasquatch, right? So like, my initial instinct is like, I don't know why, but I want to call bullshit. But let's just run with it. Let's just say they did shoot a Sasquatch. Now that Sasquatch is still out there moving around. Now, what if you're the next person that meets that Sasquatch? Like that, they
he
might
owns
not.
you, your family. He owns your firstborn. He owns everybody because you did them wrong right out the box. You got no chance. You already fucking handicap yourself at that point.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, that's going down another road because I've never seen one by themselves.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you walk into their house and say, hey, I love the fucking carpet, hey, what are you cooking? Good, I'll have some of that. And then, you reciprocate, you send them a thank you card, they'll probably invite you back.
I love it. I love it.
That's just how normal people do shit, right? As humans, that's how we think. Someone invites you to their house, you come over, you enjoy their family, their company, you send them a thank you card. You go into a Squatch's house, you're like, what the fuck's that teepee? It don't have fucking shingles on the roof. It leaks rain. I'm not standing in there. Where do you go from there? It's like I'm going home with wet pants, wet quackers, a wet fucking jacket. I didn't even enjoy the food because it's fucking berries. I'm not an herbivore.
No, there's way more to a structure than just.
Oh, I know there is, dude. I'm playing. I'm trying to be funny.
Oh, I was gonna say we've been over this shit. You know better.
I was
gonna say we've been over this too many fucking times. I know. I talked to you directly about this show.
I know, dude. I'm trying to be funny. I'm sorry, Mogs. I'm sorry, dude. I'm just trying.
Oh, it's all good, man.
I'm trying to make people laugh because you know what? It really is a serious thing. And in all honesty, you guys in 168 hours, you guys are fucking badass, man. You went right in there. You knew nothing about that. You fucking owned it. It's all good, dude. That stuff's cool, man. And boots on the ground is where you're going to get results.
Amen. Hey, man, I love you all. I got to get out of here. My phone's at 15%. That means it's about to die.
All right.
I'm going to thank you so much.
Good talking to you, Jared.
Don't be a stranger, man.
Yeah. Thank you all. Love you.
Have a
good night.
Peace.
Yeah. Good night. Sorry.
Right on. That was good to have Jared on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna jump off too, guys. But I just wanted to hop in and say hi. It's been a while, but I got things to do in the morning. So
Right on.
Cool,
Yeah, it's
Mike.
late, I guess,
good
huh?
to see you all and catch up.
Good one.
All right,
All right.
guys.
Talk to you soon, man. Thanks.
All right, bro. Thank you.
Right.
So, Mogs, let me ask you this question since we're getting almost alone. How do you like Florida?
I like it.
I
So
can
far.
leave. I can leave if you want to be alone with him.
No,
you
you're
don't
good.
need. You don't need to be
no,
a fun.
you can stick around.
I had to ask him that because we haven't talked. You know what I mean? So it's a
Yeah, it's cool.
yeah.
I think yesterday we went up the coast and you're coming in broken up.
I'm back. And so I got to find that right spot.
That's not it.
I've heard that
Close.
a lot in life.
Over to the left a little bit. Over to your right. Maybe.
That one leg.
You want to see my
My
dog's
left, your
nutsack?
right.
I can go over to the left.
Oh shit.
Sorry, guys. I just wanted to bring a little humor to the thing. But in seriousness, man, the research that's going on right now with all the tools we got with technology, that shit's mad cool, man.
Let me tell you something. You know, this expedition we were just on, you know, the people that I was with, you know, we took it serious, but I never laughed so hard with a group of people in my life. It was fantastic. Everybody was on the same page and we just played off of each other and it was fantastic. You know, by the end of the night, everybody's like, my face hurts, you know?
Dude, that's lifetime shit right there. It really, really is. When you get into a situation and stuff happens organically, you'll never forget that in your whole life. I don't give a fuck. You get dementia. I don't care what you got. You're never going to forget that.
Yeah.
That's always going to stick in your craw. It's going to be right there.
Good time with good people.
And I made some really good friends. So I'm stoked about doing this again in November, you know, and meeting more people. Hopefully we'll have the same core group.
You got a good nucleus there. For sure. You definitely got a good nucleus there. You got people that care. They don't half-ass. They do shit the right way. Man, that's putting you in a good spot, man. You're going to be productive.
Well, yeah, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I'm trying to learn from people who have, you know, the experience. And like I told Carrie, I said, you know, I'm out there. I don't have any bad.
He said, no.
You good? No, I was saying to Carrie how I don't have any bad habits.
No,
You know, whatever.
Yeah, me too.
I'll wait.
A softening zone in this.
Mike's Adventures. Good night. Thanks for coming by, man. Good to see you.
A lot of props got to go out to Carrie too for putting that together.
Good night too. Quad.
I think he's gone.
Oops. Yeah, absolutely. Kerry did a good job, you know, and he'll tell you, and he just said it tonight when he was on with you know, Mark and Larry. You know, he had it planned out, and it just the execution didn't come off the way he wanted it. That's why, you know, you'll hear him say that has it, you know, blueprinted down to the hour. You know, I understand what he's trying to do, and you know, hopefully it'll work out better. I mean, we did what we had to do, and you know, it might not have been the way it was planned, but we were pretty strict about it, you know, with ourselves, and made sure that we got out there and filmed and did our best, because we didn't know what we were doing. 4 people on my team were newbies, you know, never been in that situation, never went, you know, squatching, if you will. And they all friggin' excelled, and it was awesome, you know, to see these people just step up.
And it's good to have that mix. It's good to have that mix of people too, because, you know, like everybody always talks about with the community and the way people treat each other. I mean, in a way, to bring that many people together with so many divergent backgrounds and experiences within just the community itself. I mean, that's huge. And Carrie kind of alluded to that, but I think it kind of moves the ball down the field a little further, and at least kind of an approach, you know, alternatively to what's out there on the mainstream. Because if you see the approach that the media or the mainstream puts out there, it's freaking finding Bigfoot, you know?
Yeah,
and that
ridiculous.
you're not gonna freaking find Bigfoot on that show. It's not designed to find Bigfoot.
Oh, not at all. You know, but I witnessed, you know, some tactics used, like you know, howls and stuff, and you know, and it was funny to, you know, to hear somebody do a howl and immediate response like is coyotes,
Right.
you know.
Yep.
So it was like they were aware, like I don't know, it was like they were used to hearing it or something, because they were like, boom, coyotes are right there.
Yeah, because if you try to howl, if you were trying to howl like a coyote, coyotes wouldn't respond back to you.
No.
You know.
I'm just reading. Sandy says, "Love the live, Mogs. It was great. You did awesome."
Yeah, that was good.
That was fun.
That was great. Yeah, it was nice to have everybody do kind of a different live stream there also. You know, I think Mark did it for a little while. Carrie did those.
Carrie, that's what was cool to me was all the different channels there.
Yeah.
You know, represented, you know, brought together for the same cause, you know, and
right.
it was cool. I'm really looking forward to it. And this time, you know, it's going to be even bigger. They're going to have 3 teams going out and a lot of support. And I think he just said there's going to be about 30 people.
Right.
It's a lot of people.
Now, did Mark, or there was something about some horse show going on next to you guys or something? Some horses? Wasn't there a campsite with a bunch of horses or something?
We were camped in the equestrian campground.
Oh, gotcha.
So they had, for the one weekend, they had an event going on, and so there were horses all around and stuff. But we heard something one night that Stevie and I, we were sitting in camp, and it was late. And to me, it sounded like a growl. At first, I thought it was a horse because there was something about it, but it was too deep. It was too big. Hold on a second. Excuse me. Yeah, it was. I didn't get to see anything, but we did have things come flying into camp. You know, thrown into camp. Don't know what it was, sticks, whatever.
Now, did everybody notice that, or just a couple of people?
Just a couple.
Yeah. When
there's a lot of people hung, like we called it the cool camp. That's where all the cool kids hung out. Was my camp, and I mean that's where everybody hung out. And Barry, like Stevie, was sitting there, and she said something hit her in the lap, and then I heard something hit behind her. It hit one, like I had a stove attached to the side of the pop up,
right?
and it hit a pot. Whatever it was, hit the pot. And then Barry comes over and he sits down on a cot with his back to the fence. And as soon as he sits down, he's like, "What the hell was that?" And he's like, "Something just threw something at me." So, yeah, it was pretty neat that things got thrown. There was stuff going on.
Now, was there a lot of activity, conversation going on where not everybody was noticing that at the same time when that was happening, or were people kind of like going, "Oh, hey, something just hit me," and then they just kind of continue on with the conversation, or what was going on?
It was only like 3 of us that were in that witnessed. I don't know if anybody else had stuff thrown at him. But that was just like Barry noticed it. I noticed it. Stevie noticed it. Because it all happened at the same time.
Right.
Within 5 minutes of each other. There was a lot of different things that went on. Because my camp was right on the fence, and then where they did all the cooking and the little headquarters was down further. So they filmed from one side, like when they talk about the tree line, they filmed from the end looking kind of southeast. And I filmed directly east.
Gotcha.
In this field. I did probably I don't even know how many hours of film just on one tree line. I went up and down this tree line, filmed 20 minutes, or whatever. So, I'm hoping they find something. They have all that footage that I filmed, but I also have it too, and I haven't found anything yet. Scrubbing through the footage.
Well, have you stopped it and freeze framed it and then screenshotted it and blown it up?
I'm still just scrubbing through. I haven't gotten to the screenshots yet. I have found some where I'm like,
something looks weird over there.
That's interesting.
Look at that.
Yeah. Mark, what's up, man? We were just talking about you. Are your ears ringing? Hey, Meredith. Sharon, Overbuilt, what's happening? Scotty B, good to see you. Who else?
Oh, I better hit the thumbs up on here, man.
Yeah, if you guys should hit that thumbs up. I'm sure somebody's on top of that.
Well, I know that when we were at LBL at the meet and greet, there were some people that were sitting across the campfire from me that kept feeling like they got something hitting them or thrown at them, and we had their backs to a pretty dense thicket. But we were so concerned with the good time we were having that nobody ever, I don't think, and I'm only speaking for myself, I know that I don't remember anybody like going out and trying to find anything that was, what was the source of what was being thrown or anything. It was just like it happened, you felt it, or you might have heard it, but we just kind of continued on, and it's kind of going with the theory of kind of ignoring them and carrying on your normal activities. And that might draw them a little bit closer.
Yeah, and that's basically what we did. We didn't.
Right.
But when we were out there, I caught criticism for smoking out there, or somebody carrying a gun or whatever. It's like we're not. I didn't carry a gun. I had a knife on me, but there's shit out there that you don't. It's not the Sasquatch I'm worried about. It's the pigs and the less intelligent creatures that have bad attitudes. But yeah, we went out and did our thing our way, and I don't know any other way to do it. I've never done it before, so we just stumbled through it and learned, and I think it'll in the end, it'll be when I'm looking forward to the finished product that Kerry puts out.
Yeah, and it was
Because a lot of people put a
condensed
lot
time.
of effort into it, so it should be really good.
I mean, it sounds like you got some pretty good activity for the amount of time you were there. I mean, honestly, without that type of effort in that amount of time, it would have been tough to get the results that you guys did. If you were just doing it on your own, didn't have that organization, didn't have the experience of the people that were there, the kind of the
Well, Mark Zasky was
subject matter
key.
experts.
Mark was key in that whole thing because he knows that area like the back of his
Right.
hand.
Right.
He's been there for 6 years and, investigating this area. So, yeah, I mean, when he said jump, people jumped. It was important. And then, Mark, Newbill, his experience, those guys are boots on the ground searchers, they're out there doing it. They're not just faces on a screen talking about it. They're out there doing it.
Absolutely.
Lost Cryptid Conservatory. Those guys are, they're out there doing it too. But they're doing the talent that's involved in that little group is amazing, from audio, video, text shit to just, getting out there and, they have all these different experiences brought together to research, and it's pretty impressive.
They're from New York, right?
They're from Michigan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I've been to some spooky places in Michigan doing some canoeing before I even had any inkling of what might be spooky out in the woods.
UP up that
way. It was just it wasn't quite UP. It was probably about 2.5, 3 hours outside of Chicago, I guess, down around Gary, Indiana, and then back up along Lake Michigan. But it was, it was a canoe trip with a lot of beers and party favors. So it was a good time. And I would have been oblivious to anything that was happening.
Mr. Lee 3PS says, Mogs, find any shark teeth yet? Not yet, dude. I haven't looked, but there are places out here that they find a lot of them. Megalodon teeth and all sorts of teeth. Jenny says, Mogs, don't forget to mention the creepy, crawling, biting bugs during the 168. The bugs weren't terrible. The mosquitoes were minimal. There were some ants, but the spiders, though. There were some big-ass spiders down there. I say down there, but from where I'm at, it's actually north of me. I don't recall seeing any banana spiders, but there were some other spiders that their bodies were just huge, and they were like, they'd build the nests and the webs in the trees.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Laundry's done. I just heard the alarm go off.
Better go fold your clothes, man. Before they get all wrinkled.
But yeah, so we went the other day up the coast to this little state park. Interesting little piece of land. It's right by I guess it's Charlotte Harbor or something there. Yeah. You go through this path and it brings you to this tiny little beach that's probably, I don't know, 25, 30 feet wide. It's just this little open in the mangroves, and
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was just weird, and it's really shallow, and but it would be a cool place to launch a kayak, but it's just a long kind of a long haul to get the kayak there. But the property around there is kind of thick, so I think we're gonna stick our nose in there a little more, start snooping around there.
Well, you're in between. Aren't you in between Sarasota and Tampa?
No, I'm south of Sarasota.
Oh, are you? Oh,
Yeah, I'm in between Fort Myers and Naples.
oh,
I'm
nice.
in Cape Coral.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and it's weird because Lynn just bought a book all about the skunk apes and stories from like the 1800s and early 1900s from the Florida Keys, and it's just a fascinating book. I mean, Thomas Edison had a sighting.
Yeah, he was down at down around Sanibel, wasn't he? That's where his house is. One of his houses.
Yeah, he was.
Perdido Key or something. Isn't that what it is? Or Perdido, something like that.
If it's not, no, I think it's Sanibel.
Yeah,
And but he had sighting down in the Everglades.
Oh yeah.
Like he said 3 times he felt that feeling of the hair standing up on him, and he heard of the skunk ape stories. I'd have to reread it, but
Awesome.
yeah, pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's like what I was asking Jared about, because I know that back in it was the late 1800s or something, there was a press conference or a First Nations people came out and just made a statement and said, look, hey, here's our explanation of what our culture sees this creature as. And it's like nobody listens to them, but if people would listen, it's been there. I mean, there were 1800s stories, newspaper stories printed all over America. It's not like it's just a new phenomenon.
No, it's not. It's a lost, forgotten phenomenon. I mean, it's like we're rediscovering it. They knew about this long ago.
Yep.
And why? How did it get so squashed? The whole topic. How did it get forgotten? That's what I don't understand.
That's a good question. That's a great question. I think it probably has to do a lot with popular culture, as far as thinking what exists and what doesn't exist, and shaping opinions in a certain way.
So we're just fed shit.
Yeah. That's a good synopsis. That's perfect. Hey, you don't need to know about this. We're just gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need to know.
Don't listen to the First Nation people that have been here forever. They don't trust us. We'll tell you what the truth is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Why
don't believe your eyes. Don't believe your eyes. Don't believe all those stories that are out there about them crossing the road. Those different experiences that people are having that are very similar all over North America. Don't believe any of that.
No.
Go watch Finding Bigfoot when they never find Bigfoot.
Where it's real.
Yeah. Sure.
Fuck. I just never, and even before I got into the whole subject matter of Bigfoot, I'd look at that show and go, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah. This is reality. Yes.
Even me having no clue, it was like, why would they do that? Just the things they did.
The ridicule, make people that much more isolated and not wanting to share their experience, because they know that it's just, they won't be thought of as legitimate and won't be taken seriously when you put something together that's supposed to be reality television, when you got 4 experts on that they're just kind of like, paying lip service to the producers and making something that's, for the ratings. That's part of a social phenomenon.
But Cliff and Bobo, I mean, they're
True.
diehard. They're into it,
Right, but they're getting paid by producers for the show, and the show's entertainment. I mean, that doesn't take away with what they do individually away from that show, but that show in itself is molded and manipulated.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then there's Moneymaker, and I don't, have an opinion.
Yeah. There's some different, I've heard many stories about people making reports to BFRO and not having a full account of what they reported being reflected within whatever BFRO puts there. Yeah. That's all I know.
It's edited. And that's bullshit.
And it seems to be skewed toward being non-violent encounters. I'm not saying that there's a lot of violent encounters, but I'm just saying that those seem to be the ones that don't seem to make it in there, in the details. And
those are the ones that should make it into the details.
Right. Because there are things you need to be aware of in certain places.
Mr. Lee 3PO says, Mogs, now you're a researcher. How are you going to go about your research?
You're a searcher. I don't think you're a researcher.
I'm a searcher. Yeah. Well, because I didn't search it to begin with. So first time out, I'm a searcher. So,
Mr. Lee 3PO needs to come over to North America and go out. I think he's been around the small island over there across the pond too long, too isolated. He needs to get out in the country, get out in the wilds, expand his horizons.
It's like Carrie's trying to get Daniela to come out here for this outing. We'll see.
All right. Yeah, we'll get you a visa. We'll get you a visa, Mr. Lee 3PO. We'll take you out.
Sandy Clemens says, Mr. Lee, you need to be on Moog's research team.
There you go. Sandy knows what's up.
Yeah, I don't have a style. I'm just going out there, and like just Meredith just said, where is it here? Mogs, you're just checking shit out, and that's it, and recording it, and in different formats, from night vision to camera to thermal. It's
Well, I think that's kind of the great thing that's happening now is like people are picking up. I mean, before it's kind of like most of the stories are saw it crossing the road, or I was out camping somewhere, ran into it, or I was hiking, came across it.
Or now my camp.
Yeah, now it's like with all the details that people are putting out there and sharing. Now people that go out and camp, go out and hike, maybe driving their car can have dash cam, can have a camera on them, can be aware of what's out there, know what to maybe take with them and be a little bit more informed about what's out there if in fact they want to find any evidence or to avoid running into these creatures if they don't want to.
Well, yeah, and I think what Carrie's doing and what other people are doing is is the right thing to do as far as bringing awareness to this subject.
Right.
People are fucking clueless.
Yeah.
Okay, you have Finding Bigfoot out there, but people look at it as a joke, but it does keep it in the forefront, it keeps it in that pop culture, whatever. It's just how it does it. It's like you said, makes it like a joke. People think Bigfoot and oh yeah, ha ha ha.
Right.
Not really. It exists, people, and they're like, what? Yeah. dumbass.
Right. Well, and it goes back to how many people are actually getting out off trail, off camp, into the woods. I mean, what less than 5% of Americans have a passport, and maybe 2% of those people that have passports use them to travel outside the country. So think about how many people go to national parks and stay in the campgrounds, but don't go any further outside those campgrounds. I mean, how much land out there that people do not get into?
Oh, there's millions of acres.
Exactly.
Blue Line Bigfoot says, I believe I started calling you Mogs first. Do you think that is correct? I don't know, dude. Maybe.
He just didn't want. He couldn't type Mongolian, so he just said Mogs. I got it down now. Mogollon.
So how about it? Oh, Richie Evans says, Mr. Lee, you and I should join Monster to hunt down Sasquatch. So how about it? Yeah, it's, you know what, and that's what I am doing, is I'm just getting out, checking out shit. It's a hike with, with my head on a swivel.
Yeah, I mean because
it's weird, from the time I started getting into this, I don't go into the woods the same, and it's not, and it's weird because I've never had an experience, but believing in what's out there, it just changes my approach. I am looking at every dark spot in the woods.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's some times where I try to do the opposite, where like kind of Larry was talking about when he's going out turkey hunting, when you're hiking through the woods 3 miles back to your spot when it's dark. It's like he didn't want to run into one when he's turkey hunting. So it's not like he's on that level of trying to be that aware. So when he said he's just looking at his trail and looking where his flashlight is, I mean, that's kind of an approach that sometimes I'm starting to kind of delineate now to understand, like, okay, well, there's times where you want to be aware of what's going on all aware around you, and you usually want to, but there might be some times where you just want some tunnel vision to get out of the area you're in and not want to see what's around you. Maybe I don't know. I mean, that's I've kind of gotten that vibe.
You're walking in dark. You're only going to see where your flashlight hits, but your hearing is
True.
Tuned in. You're listening to everything. It's not, you can't help but be a little hyper aware while you're out there when you have this in your paradigm.
Now, did you notice a kind of shift when you were out there over the time on the trip, to where maybe at the beginning you were just kind of semi-observant, to where you kind of picked up on how to be a little bit more attuned with what was going on around you or what to look for?
I still don't know what to look for. But being a hunter, growing up as being in the woods and being a hunter, I have that in me, as far as the patience and the being observant. Mark mentioned on his show earlier about how when we were filming, he was talking to me about entering this we were about to come up to this field. He saw it, I saw it, Stevie saw it, as far as, you see these trails, they look like game trails, but they're coming through this thick shit that's, something's going through them. And like he was saying, how he looks at how wide they are, not necessarily how tall, but how wide they are. But you'd find them everywhere.
Now, can you distinguish that between, as you as a hunter, knowing what a deer trail looked like,
they all
a deer
look
trail
same.
going, that's a deer trail versus, hey, this looks different. This is weird.
Well, some of them are bigger when they're going into like the brush. some of the entrances are bigger. Like you can tell something bigger went through there. But then there's small little hog trails or deer trails or whatever's going through there. But because the grass is so high, you see it. You see them all over the place. And as a hunter, I see them just
right.
It's just natural for me to see them, whereas other people might not even notice.
Yep.
So
yeah, you kind of take that for granted too, as a hunter. And then when you go out with somebody that hasn't been out there, hasn't been in the woods,
and you're like, how did you walk by that? How did you miss that?
Exactly.
Yeah. But,
did you run
I just want to read this. Meredith says, Mogs, did your dogs focus on one area or hint to you when they were out at the camp tied up with you while you guys were eating?
With your dogs went kind
you guys out eating. The one night my dogs went off. I think we were out. And a bunch of us were out, and my dogs were back at the camp. And somebody said one night they just went off, like they really set them off for like an hour. And my dogs don't normally do that. What the hell is his name? Chad's dog. He had his dog there. Oh shit! I didn't do that. I swear. Well, Chad had his dog there, and that dog hit on something into the field, and that's when they started using the thermals in that field that we were camped next to. So that dog hit on something. My dogs might have, but I didn't see him hit on anything when I was with them. So, but my dogs, every time somebody new walked into camp, they were barking. Once they got your smell or got used to you, you were in. It was. Everybody was surprised. They're like, "Oh wow, man, what great guard dogs!" Maya, Lucy's a little terrier type thing. But yeah, it was great to have them there. I'm glad the dogs were with us. Everybody enjoyed them. They were well behaved, except when Lucy would get away and I'd have to chase after them and her in flip flops, and it was not pretty. Overbuilt says, where the hell did it go? There it is. Mogs, your dogs may have smelled the dog man lady and wanted it or run. No, both my dogs are bitches. I'm not being rude. That's what they are. 65 in chat, or not in chat, but watching. Oh, yes. Hold on. Sorry, Cans. Here you go. Geez, we've been at this an hour and a half already. Holy shit. Robin, good night. And if I missed anybody saying good night to anybody, I can't see everybody. Get 5-6 people in here. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to look at chat. You guys know I'm always on top of chat. Oh yeah, Lucy would alert. Hey, you don't want to be here. Just
No, it was me. It wasn't you, man.
Yeah, no, I moved my leg. I hit a wire.
You got it all down. You got it all down now. I remember a couple months ago, you were like, which button do I
push? Wrong button.
So what kind of terrier mix is one of your dogs?
Lucy is I don't know. Jack Russell mix or something. But she's in that ratter family.
Right.
And then Maya's a shepherd. Don't know what kind. I mean, I just say she's German shepherd.
How old are they?
Lucy is 10, 11, somewhere around there. And Maya's probably going on 6.
Oh, nice. Good mix.
Yeah, they're good dogs. Maya, I was concerned with Maya when I moved here. I've seen her fight, get into fights before with other dogs, and the other dogs didn't fare too well.
Oh, yeah.
So I was concerned when I moved here, and, because there's 6 other dogs here.
Oh, yeah.
Four big dogs and 2 little dogs, and they're great dogs. And I wouldn't let Maya out I didn't introduce him for probably 4 days before I was here. I kept her in the bedroom. I'd let Lucy out because she gets along with everybody, and Maya would look through the window and get pissed off.
Yeah.
So then finally I introduced him, and Maya, she wasn't sure how to, take it.
6 other dogs. That's a lot to handle.
Yeah, and now she puts there's a rambunctious golden retriever here that I think just wants to have fun, and because he'll mess with her, and she'll start mouthing off to him and nip at him, but then he automatically goes to this submissive, on his back, in front of her. It's like, he likes her,
Right.
But there's a yellow lab that is older, and Maya had to teach him a lesson. Put him right down.
Oh, yeah.
He got too clumsy or something, and she had him by the throat and on his back, and didn't hurt him. Didn't but
right, was there. Was ready.
Made her point.
Yeah.
But there's another shepherd here that she gets along fine with. She gets along fine with everybody. It's just that one dog is a little young and rambunctious, so it's a little annoying, I think, for her.
Sure. Dogs are pack animals, man. It's tough for them to find their position.
Jenny Smokes, how hot was it during the 168? It was for March. It was hot.
It was like 80, wasn't it?
It was in the 80s. But it's that extra humidity that I'm not used to. I drove here from Arizona where humidity is like.
Yeah, it can be 104, and it's like nothing like 90 in like Florida.
Yeah. But yeah, the humidity hasn't been bad. I mean, like here where I'm at now, it hasn't really affected me. I know once it gets, I don't know. I grew up with humidity, so.
Dude,
once it gets hot, it's gonna suck.
It'll be good for your bones and your body, man. Humidity's great. It'll be good for your joints. Be good for your muscles. You'll feel freaking awesome. Put money on it. All those aches and pains that you were feeling in the freaking dry desert air are gonna disappear.
Well, it's weird because I can feel the difference. I don't know. I can't explain it, but
your body's more moist. You're holding more moisture.
No, but I can feel the difference of being at sea level. Because the past 10 years, I was at 3,500 feet.
True. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. That must be weird.
Yeah. I can't explain how it's different, but.
Like you feel like super flat, kind of heavy, like you got a lot of gravity on you or something?
No, it's, I don't know. It's weird. Because, at 3,500 feet, even it's not that much, but it's enough where the the oxygen is less.
Sure.
So yeah, my body is handling, because you're getting a lot more oxygen at sea level than you do obviously at a higher elevation. So
Right.
yeah, just little things I'm noticing. It's like they're curious things, but the way I feel, the way I heal, or it's weird. Seven Pearl says, Mogs, other than your recent adventure and upcoming adventure in November, what are you busy doing? Handyman stuff. Part of the deal was when I got to Lynn's is I was going to help do some things around here, and she's got some other properties that I have to do some projects need to be addressed. And trying to get out. I'm going to get out and do some fishing soon. Once I figure out the license, the fishing license thing, because I haven't gotten my new ID yet, I haven't even applied. I just got here. But if I have to buy or pay for a non-resident license or whatever I have to do, I'm going to go that route.
Oh, yeah. Short term. Yeah.
Well, just a year, I guess. I mean, but I'll get a resident, once I change everything over. But in the meantime, I'm not going to go out and fish illegally.
Well, you should be able to get credit for whatever you pay as a non-resident to when you become a resident.
Yeah, probably.
Credit you for what you paid, because you got to have a salt water. You probably got to have a fresh water.
And the saltwater, I think, is free. You just have to register, or you got to whatever you have to have for residents.
Really? Sweet. You got any canals where you're at where you can do the peacock bass fishing?
I just walked over with the dog yesterday, just 100 yards up the road, if that, away from the house. Because Cape Coral is known for its canals. There's canals everywhere.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
So, you can get on a kayak and, canal all the way around?
Yeah. You can do that.
Or stand-up paddleboard?
Yep.
Gotcha.
I have access to a hybrid, which is a combination of a stand-up paddleboard and a kayak.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's 11 foot long. I need something. I'm a big guy, so that extra stability will be perfect. It's even dog friendly. The dog can fit on the back of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Get your workout.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, to getting out and fishing off of it. That's going to be awesome.
So you walked out, what did you say, 100 yards? There's a canal. So did you see?
Oh, yeah. So I just took the dog over there just to see if there's any access points, because it's weird. A lot of these canals are private property, or there's houses all along. So, getting to them or getting in to find a spot to fish. So I checked it out yesterday, and, I could see some bass in there, and I'm like,
ooh.
Yeah. So I said, I'll be back. Yeah, because some of them are freshwater, some of them are brackish.
Right.
But they're all over the place. If you look at Cape Coral on a map, it's just crazy. All these canals, they're all over the place.
Yeah, I saw some guy on YouTube that was doing weirdest fish he ever caught in these different drainage ditches around Florida. I'll try, if I find it, I'll try to send it to you, because he shows all the different lures he uses and different fishes he catches. So might be interesting, give you a leg up on what to use.
There are just so many different. Sandy says peacock bass. You have to go to Miami by the airport. I don't think so. I think there's a lot of peacock bass, a lot closer than that. I heard there might be a peacock bass fishery in this town, so I'll have to find that out. People are kind of weird, you know. They don't give up their peacock bass fishing spots.
Yeah, well, yeah, Florida's it's a mix, man, because there's a total influx of people from all over the country moving there, and then you've got kind of people that are locals that have been there for a while. So it's not like it's going to be an easy in talking to the locals, especially in like a beach town or when it comes to fishing.
Oh yeah, no, and that's cool because like when when I went to the bait store last week just to look around. Again, it's kind of geared where we were is it's geared more touristy type shit. But I walk in, I'm standing there for a second, and the guy's like, "Oh, we have some T-shirts on sale over here." I'm like, "Do you have a tide chart?" He's like, "What?" I said, "Do you have a tide chart?" He's like, "Of course." I got caught him off guard. That's all I want. I'm like, okay, thank you. Because if I'm going to fish, I have to know the
Right.
tide. I I've been using a tide chart since I was probably 10.
Right.
So that kind of caught him off guard, and I was like, "Well, where can you fish around here?" And and trying to just feel it out.
Right. Right.
But with the kayak now, that changes things. Um, that's gonna. I'm not used to having a boat or anything like that, a kayak accessible now. So if I don't have to shore fish, woohoo!
Absolutely.
Let me see.
Yeah, man. So what's the weather down there like now?
It's nice actually. It's a little chilly, not chilly, but as soon as that sun goes down everywhere, I mean, until summer gets here, it's I get that chill in the air. But I think what's today? Friday? No, today's Thursday. I think Sunday through next week, there's a good chance of rain coming up. Because I think down here it's just getting into the rainy season. I guess the springtime is the beginning of rainy season. Where like Arizona, our monsoon season starts in June, goes through till November. But yeah, I'm stoked. I'm still absorbing everything down here, and just
good weather.
Well, I'm sitting there and I forget where I'm at. I'm sitting by a pool with my dogs in the sun. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in Florida. And I'm looking at my dogs. I'm like, you guys okay with this?
That's right. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, speak up now.
Well, it's tough shit.
That's right. That's right. I can send you back to Arizona if you want to go.
Meredith says, Mogs, I knew I liked you. Tide chart is the only way to go. I've had a few lobster boats in my time, inshore and offshore fishing. But more, it happens. What does that say? But more.
Love it.
Oh. Okay. I'm like, huh? I'm not like up on my emojis. Although that's pretty friggin' obvious. But yeah, no, a tide chart is I lived by a tide chart when I was a kid. Meredith, where did you have lobster boats? I'm guessing
New Hampshire, Maine, Connecticut.
Well, there's not too many lobster boats. Well, you do have that little section of New Hampshire, like Portsmouth, New Hampshire, that's on the coast. There's a little section of Hampshire, but yeah, Maine, Massachusetts, all those up that way, where it's wicked cool.
So you already have gear to fish down there? You already got rods and gear?
Yeah, the only thing I have to change is the line. I have to go with a heavier line. Although my one my one pole that's rigged right now, I know my capability as far as, being able to set drag and fight a fish, and I would fish with the one pole with the 8-pound test. I'd go out there.
8 pounds.
Well,
I was thinking you might say 20 pounds, but
no,
that's why I fish with like 4 and 6 right
yeah,
now.
I can trout fish, and 8 is the heaviest that I have on there right now for catfish. And that's nothing. I mean, but here it's like you need at least 12-pound, 15-pound, a line.
Freaking saltwater fish don't mess around.
No, I grew up saltwater fishing, but you have different fish down here that don't mess around, like barracuda and shark, and there's a lot of toothy critters that's why they use like a heavier leader. Like they might have a 30-pound braided line with a 50-pound mono leader. Right. See, I never used leaders. I wasn't, I might use a wire leader, for the toothy critters, but I mean, I can tie a knot, so I'm not really sweating it too much, but it's just weird that I'm going to have to get used to tying a leader on. All right, guys, I'm just looking through here real quick. Oh, okay, Massachusetts and in Maine. Awesome. Yeah, I went up to the last time I was up in Maine. I brought my mountain bike and my fishing pole. I didn't know my aunt lived on the Penobscot River. I never used a mountain bike. Yeah, Massachusetts and Maine. I love, growing up in Jersey, I know the whole New England area. Now, Meredith, it's pronounced Bahaba.
Oh.
Bahaba.
Oh.
Park the car in the yard. Circle hooks. Yeah. Yeah, fishing, and bait's bait. I mean, I'll have to get used to fishing with shrimp, live shrimp. Okay.
Yeah, what's it? What else do they catch? Little some type of bait fish.
Yeah, they I think down here they just call it white bait.
Yeah.
But it's a combination of other, whatever.
Right.
I don't know what their type of fish they are. But yeah, they have the throw nets, so they just throw it out and fill up their live wells with we'll call them minnows, for whatever. Shiners. Yeah, and then different. I'm sure they use crabs. There's a lot of different things to fish for down here. I'm debating on whether or not I actually want to try to get a Goliath grouper, because those things get massive.
take you out to sea on the paddleboard.
Yeah, there's structure. There's structure fish. Like they'll hang out like pilings and under bridges and stuff. But they get big, damn. But anyway, enough about fishing. An hour and 50 minutes. Well, Overbelt says, Mogs, being you're a big guy, you going to gator wrestling? No. Nope. That's still weirding me out of being around gators, like having to watch your step around every body of water. That's unnerving.
Yeah, I was in.
And then the snakes. I don't even think about the snakes, but there's a shit ton of snakes here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And somebody just sent me something on the. There's a hybrid Burmese out there that's like, I don't know, like. I don't want to have to worry about all this shit. If I see it, I see it. Until then, I'm not going to think about it.
Does it bite you, or does it just strangle you?
It's a python, but Burmese pythons get very big. It's one of the bigger, python species, like a reticulated python that gets big too.
They consider that an invasive species and they kill it?
Yeah, they I guess they have bounties on them now, or you're allowed to just, since they're an invasive species, you can just kill them. Like certain species here, if you catch them, you're supposed to just like toss them up on the beach. If you're not going to eat it, don't throw it back alive. Don't catch and release. Catch and get rid of it. Just so many invasive species. Snakeheads. If you catch that, don't throw it back. Kill it or throw it on shore or whatever. A lot of the invasive species started as aquarium fish.
Right.
And then they introduced the peacock bass to try to control the snakehead population. Which it's all, yeah, it's a shame that you have all these invasive species, but it's just another fish to catch for me. I see it as you're increasing the fishery.
Yeah, but to the detriment of the other.
Yeah, I know.
Poor fish. Yeah.
I know they're not but
But there's tons of.
I didn't do it.
Chinese carp up here on the rivers up here.
Yeah, exactly. Just like crayfish are invasive. Like Arizona, every lake had crayfish, tons of crayfish, but they don't belong there. They're invasive.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See, I'm an invasive species. Check it out. Cashew says, I understand that the Mongolian monster is not naturally occurring in the southeast. He has invaded Florida with his Touche. That's awesome, Cashew.
Cashew always keeping it real.
That's awesome. that was just funny. Thank you, Cashew. I needed that. But yeah, I think we're going to call this a night.
Yep, I think 2 hours is about it.
Thank you so much for coming on and hanging out.
Sure, man. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime, man. You know that.
Thanks for sending me the link again after I pushed the wrong button.
I was like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I just put through my
Absolutely.
hand up, like, swear I didn't do it. Wit says, if you went squatching, you're probably not scared of snakes. It's weird because there was an area we wanted to go into and nobody had gaiters on. Nobody had their, snake boots or gaiters. I had boots on, but I had shorts. So I was willing to just go frolic through the grass and not give a shit about what's in it. And these guys were like, nope, we're not going in. We're not going in. I'm like, okay, we'll come back. So yeah, there are, do worry about snakes and stuff, but I have to get used to that.
Right. Because if you come from because in the desert you can kind of see them. You see them around you.
Lockbeard says, Mogs, you should catch an 8-foot Goliath grouper, haul it out to Sasquatch Town, and hang it in a tree. I bet you get the best footage ever. They will be drooling all over themselves, though. Right on, Lockbeard. Anyway, all right. I will. I'll talk to you soon, man. Thanks again.
You bet. Good talking to you.
You as well.
Glad you're down there safe and sound and made it down there.
Oh my man.
Rolled. You cruised in and
I'm so pinching myself.
168 hours. Had a great time doing that. Just that's your introduction to Florida.
Yeah, it was a good introduction.
Your first Bigfoot outing, you just kind of end up in a documentary. That's cool.
Right. That is pretty cool, actually. Now that I think about it that way.
Right. Hell cool. Yeah.
Huh.
Hells yeah.
Hopefully Kerry does it justice.
Yeah. Well,
he will.
Yeah, all those other ones he's already done, go back and watch some of those, man.
No, I know. I know what he's capable of. All right, dude. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off that quick.
That's all right.
I was like, push the wrong button again.
That was perfect.
All right, dude. Have a good night. I'll see you soon. Well, guys, it's another show, another hour and 2-hour show. By the time I shut up at those 3 minutes, will just fly by. I want to thank everybody who stopped in tonight. That was awesome. Really had a good time tonight with you guys. Everybody in chat, thank you for showing up. Rumiel, Iron, Lockbeard, Seven Pearls, Scotty B, everybody, Stevie B. Thank you. Thank you. Sandy, I will be in touch. I have those addresses I have to get to you, so I will be in touch with you tomorrow. And everybody else, I will see in chat somewhere. I'm always there. I'm moderating somewhere. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you guys like the show, please hit the like, subscribe, share. If you're new, subscribe. Again, leave comments. The other thing, I like talking to you guys, hearing what you have to say. So, all right, guys. Moderators, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. You really couldn't do it without you. So I will talk to you guys on Tuesday. Well, I'll see you on Tuesday, but I'll see you. All right, guys. Y'all have an amazing night.